Hi and welcome to Dynamics Update. Today we have not one but two interviewees, but in addition to that, I also have my colleague Gustav Sundblad. Hello, Gustav. How are you doing?
Hello, everyone. I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. It's almost Christmas. You guys who listen to this will probably hear it after the holidays, but for us it's just before the holidays. So I'm doing my second to final day or something like that, and then we're off to holiday. But today we actually have two people that are here to talk about stuff. So let's introduce them. Hello, Prashant and Hemant.
Hi, Johan. Hi, Gustav. And thank you for
Oh,
inviting us. So I work for Microsoft Singapore, and I'm in ISD team, and I handle all the stuff related to FNO, D365, and a lot of other stuff that I do behind the scene. Yeah. Along with me, I have Hemant as well.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Hemanth Kumar, and I'm working in Microsoft as well. I'm working in the FastTrack team, and from the past 2 years, I've been handling all the across Dynamics 365, like FNO and DS, Dataverse and Power Platform. I'm handling like customer visible telemetry from Dynamics 365 to application insights. Now, in the last 6 months, as we are foraying into like the agentic world, also kind of front loading agentic visible customer actionable telemetry through different agents, and that's where we are collaborating with Prashant here from last 6 months, more than a year
yeah,
actually, across different things.
very cool.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, very cool. And we're happy to have you guys here. I mean, you are here not only we could talk dynamics and other stuff for a while, right? But the main topic we brought you here for is the new batch telemetry agent,
Yes.
which we got in contact Prashant and Hemant on a different client, spinning it up. But tell us a little bit about the batch telemetry agent and how did it get started and where is it now?
So batch jobs and batch framework are very important topics, like for every FNO customers. And I was working as a premier field engineer in the past, and I used to get all the escalation cases from Asia region, from APAC region for slow running batch jobs are throttled and all. And we were waiting for the right time to see all these data in App Insights for all the customers, so that every customer can go and see what's happening in their batch framework. And to reduce that time and effort, you need to raise a support ticket, and there is some time lag in that, that. And to get the root cause analysis, now every customer is empowered to use this agent and to use the Azure Data Explorer dashboard, which is released by the FastTrack team. You can download and use it, and you can get a lot of relevant insights, what's going on in your batch framework in terms of throttling, threads availability, anything. So you can treat this agent as your team member. So let's say you raise a support ticket and you expect the support engineer to give you the root cause analysis, and now the same option is is with all the customers. They can do the same thing. They can ask the agent can do the analysis. You can further extend the agent to see other relevant information. And so there is no limit to it, right? You can go ahead and extend to whatever limit you can, but within the application insights boundary. So if there are like 4 tables involved in application insights, it will read only data from the standard batch telemetry. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm coming at this as well from a similar background because a lot of batch problems have been escalated to me throughout the years, right? Both from AX and now in 365 as well. And this seems like a clear-cut case of where having an agent and especially having the telemetry available, right, to run, because you might have hundreds or thousands of batch jobs, and it's a lot of things to dive into. Now we have App Insights, and that's very cool, but it's overwhelming sometimes with all the information that you get, right? So I tried it out, the telemetry. We have it deployed in production as well, running to do analysis, and just that little initial analysis at least gave me and us a lot of good findings that we could that we can use to help out. But it's interesting what you say as a teammate, right? Because you can also ask, okay, well, give me all the long running jobs, or are there any long running jobs right now? So it might help take away some of the threads.
That's right,
It's very
Gustav.
cool.
And right, and if you further extend the agent, and let's say you mix and match with MCP server, which has been released like last month.
Yeah.
So you can take self-healing actions. You can also abort or start a new batch job in FNO. So the way the agent is built, it's gonna go for any historical data from application insights. It's gonna pick that data. But if you want to fix something which is ongoing for the, let's say there is a bad job which has been running for past 4 hours, and you users are waiting, they're not getting the right insights that why it is taking so long. They reach out to the admin, and then we do the analysis and all. Now the same thing the agent can do, and you can take self-healing actions from the agent itself if you have the tool, MCP tool in your agent.
Yeah, and if you're
We
on version
can
46, right?
exactly.
Still
So that
yeah.
requires version 46.
Yeah, so
That's right.
soon to be there, right? But it's very cool, exactly.
Yes.
The actions that can be taken. That's very cool.
So-
And what have you seen? I'm guessing you guys have seen a lot of adoption right now. I think you guys were on the UG in India last week as well, right? Are you seeing a lot of adoption now, and like questions coming in and user stories around this?
Yeah, absolutely, Gustav. So I think for us, Hemant, it's been like 2 months or something. We
Yeah.
started going on call with every customer, like FastTrack customers, and even my customers, like ISD customers. And when we had the UG call last week, the Dynamics India user group call. So over there, we had a lot of partners from India and Southeast Asia as well joining those calls. And the one important thing is the capability of application insight exists right now.
Yeah.
But I think not a lot of customers and partners, they are aware how to harness that information and knowledge to their benefit. Like if you're an experienced engineer with having experience in FNO and app insights, you can go to dashboard and see the relevant data. But how about a business user who doesn't have app insights knowledge or logs knowledge? This is where the agent can bridge the gap between the technical information in dashboard, and it can convert it into business language and give you the exact answer which the user is looking for.
Yeah.
In terms of
So we have been having calls pretty much on like at least one customer every day, right? And multiple customers on it on a regular day basis, right? Like this because if you see, batch is kind of like the heartbeat of like FNO,
Yeah.
right? Like everything, importing jobs or like exporting invoices, purchase orders, everything goes through the batch framework.
Definitely.
And for a business process, it's been critical. And through working like closely with the product teams, like we have made sure that all the relevant telemetry is being pushed to application insights. And as Prashant said, right, like actually like for technical users, making sense of what the structure of data is in application insights, what are the important fields, like that might be a little bit hurdle to pass. Once they pass that hurdle, it becomes easier. So batch this agent like makes it much more easier. You just ask questions in natural language, and it gives you, right. And with the plugin, right, like we have like this agent, you can deploy it in M365 or Teams. So you can act as Teams as a central command prompt, right? Like as you are working with your colleagues, right? Like one of your colleagues say pings you in Teams or any other channel, saying, "Hey, like this batch job is important for like this business, and it's taking such a long time. What's the status?" Right? And the system admin can quickly, within Teams context itself, without changing the context to application insights or dashboards, chat with the agent, get the summary, get like overall historical analysis for that batch job, and tell that like what is expected, what actions to be taken, right? So you can it kind of helps you speed up things at a much faster rate.
Yeah. So one of the things I reacted to when you said that now was because it sort of digs into a thesis that I've been having a while ago, and Gustav will not agree with me here, but I sort of have a thesis that the fewer people that log into FNO, it's actually better, because it's not a very intuitive interface. It's not very easy to use, and I tend to agree with you there. Because mostly the people troubleshooting batch jobs in F&O are not F&O people usually, because they are part of the IT department. So having it available from Teams and having it accessible to someone who is not used to troubleshooting things from within F&O, I think is a really, really strong point here.
You're 100% right, Johan. I mean, that's the beauty about this agent is, and of course, we'll see a lot of sub agents coming in the future in the roadmap. Like we can have a one monitoring agent, observability agent as the orchestrator agent. Then this batch agent or DMF agent or any form agent can act as a sub agent. So we are going in that direction as well. But you are absolutely right, Juan. For like normal user, like for them, they don't understand even DMF import export. For them, they want to see that business data in FNO, and this agent they can use that to chat with the agent on Teams and like as you mentioned on M365 to get those insights for them. Yeah, it becomes easier for the users to do it.
But I mean, also, I wanted to to add this here, that this is sort of what I've been saying. That I mean, if we put it in a bit of a broader context from just batch jobs, and we look at it from an F&O perspective instead. I mean, we have been driving the thesis around automation for a really, really long time, having batch jobs, having Power Automate flows, having things that are done by itself automatically within F&O. And that's sort of what I've been arguing, that we shouldn't have to be. I mean, there are people who work daily within F&O. The people who work with finances do that. But if we look at the rest of the people, you shouldn't have to be in F&O. I mean, if you work at the warehouse, you're using the warehousing application. If you're working as a salesperson, then you're probably using CRM or something else for placing orders and stuff. And having not having people who are not very used to working in F&O, not having to log in all the time, is probably a good thing. And I mean, the MCP connection as well will probably be a really good thing for this, because then some of the things that you do in F&O, you can actually do it from Teams or from Copilot or from wherever that you're working in your day-to-day business.
Yeah, definitely. And I think one thing worth noting here is the simplicity of, and you mentioned it before, Prashant, that a lot of customers and people already have a lot of insights through App Insights. Maybe they're not enabling it. And for this particular agent, you don't need the ISM telemetry, right? Because we discussed this before. The telemetry that is being emitted in version 45 and onwards, I think, is sufficient, right? So you have in a standard Dynamics environment, what you have, you need to flick the switch and set up an App Insights. But then you basically, and then of course install the agent, but that's a very simple operation. So it's very easy to get this started. Just to get this analysis in Copilot Studio, you don't even need to deploy it in Teams just to get that analysis done, right? It takes
exactly, Gustav. Yeah.
If you have App Insights, it takes 5 minutes, basically.
Exactly. So it's a seamless, yeah, you're absolutely right. So it's a seamless integration between F&O and App Insights. So ISM telemetry is something which was built before we had batch telemetry enabled in standard. So the intention was basically because a lot of customers worldwide, like even like people in my organization in ISD, we look for that kind of data in App Insights, like what's happening in my system, so that I'm proactively alerted that there is something going on, and if I need to complete my job, I need to wait for some time, right? So all those relevant insights, we built ISM telemetry to help all the customers. Now you don't need that because the standard batch telemetry has everything which was there in ISM telemetry. And yes, we are working on a lot of other things as well, which will be released in the future. And yes, the setup is quite easy, seamless integration with FNO. Even the agent takes 15 minutes to install. And users can directly start using the agent either on Teams, M365, or in Copilot Studio as well. Yeah.
No, exactly, and that's I mean the extensions part here, where we get into actual like monitoring and taking action in production. That's where we see like coming at it from an AX perspective or an older, you kind of, after a while, you get the feel for your batch jobs, right? You know, you can mark, you might have 100 batch jobs. 10 of those are super critical. So if they are running slow, everyone needs to be on high alert, right? The other 90 are maybe like self-healing. So there's this division of batch jobs categorization. And I think that's, the more data we get, the easier it is for us to kind of do that summary and start building documentation and say, okay, this job has executed long every Wednesday. But it's not a problem because every Wednesday we get a lot of shipments. So it kind of builds this historical pattern of having, okay, now that it's abnormally slow because it's running on a Friday. And that's really hard to see unless you have telemetry, right?
So sometimes what we do is, if we go live, for example, a new customer, so we don't really care about how many batch jobs we have scheduled in the environment. And somehow those batch jobs, they stay for a year, 2 years, even 5 years, they will stay in the system.
Yeah.
Unless there's a support ticket raised and there's an engineer who identifies, okay, this thing which runs every minute is eating all the threads from batch framework and you need to stop that, right?
Exactly.
So the first prompt which we always use with the agent is this one: do some batch job analysis, and it will give you. You can extend the prompts to point towards the 5 critical batch jobs which you have, and it will do analysis only for those batch jobs. So in the newest version of the agent, there is a date range topic which we have introduced.
Yeah.
If your app insights is receiving data from 5 different sandbox environment, from SIT, UAT, or some dev box, it will get data from those environments as well. Like it can filter by environment ID, by date range. And the way we build the agent is to make sure it's optimized, doesn't hallucinate much, doesn't use much messages or over message consumption. We can change the model of the agent. We can go to 4.1, we can use 5.0, we can use Sonnet. Different requirement, different model, I would say.
Yeah.
We can mix and match and do things.
Yeah, but that was a discussion we had as well, right? The selection of models, and this is a broader topic, of course. I mean, selection of models is it can be very complicated, but I think we discussed that as well, Hemant, with like having Sonnet might give you better output, but it also burns through your credits much faster, right? But if you go down to a cheaper model, you might get the same results, but with less credit. So that's, I'm not sure I know the answer for each and every one, but that's a critical thing, right? But it comes pre-installed here, I think, in the solution with 4.1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Gustav. So yes, so it's 4.1, and the way now I've started using 5.0.
Yeah.
You can we can feel free to change it to 5.2 as well. But I think if there are 4 batch jobs which I need to know about, and it's there in application sites, I don't need a Lamborghini to drive and get the answer for me. I'm okay with like a normal car, a Toyota or something, to get that answer because it is already there. I just need to summarize, organize, do some correlation between throttling, CPU, DTU, RAM, and get the answer. So 5.0 is enough. But Sonnet, so like if we have an orchestrator and a sub agent in future, for example, one D365 observability agent, and then batch agent becomes a sub agent, DMF agent becomes a sub agent, form agent becomes a sub agent, we can change the model depending how much data we are sending in App Insights. Batch and DMF are big, we can use 5.0. Form telemetry, we can use like 4.1. So, and if you're using MCP, you want to get, so see, now we have the users have the power to do a lot of things themselves with MCP. I mean, it really helps me also if I want to know the inventory on hand, or like on hand inventory for a particular item. I don't need to go to log into FNO and do that, right? I can straight away ask the MCP like tool inside the agent, and it will do that for me. But yeah, we need to be.
That's very cool. But we need to be mindful. That's exactly that with the MCP. Because in production, it's business critical production jobs, right? So you don't want an agent that kind of reasons around. Maybe I should cancel this job, or maybe I shouldn't. There should have maybe.
That's the reason we did. We did add any autonomous things, self-healing things. It's your environment. You are responsible for your environment. So I think the responsibility lies with the user. They can automate it like that, but again, they should.
No, but I mean, normally you have some kind of batch job list, right? We have one, for instance, and as an example, but just a simple SharePoint list with the batch job ID. So you could connect that as a knowledge source and just have an indicator on the list to say these are okay to restart, these are not okay to restart. So if you give the agent the information it needs to take those decisions, then that at least makes it safer, right? So
That's a beautiful point, actually.
Yeah,
That's a good solution.
Yeah. So from our testing, right, like if you can totally add knowledge source and clearly give instructions to say these are the guardrails, like these are critical patch jobs, very important. Don't restart them, or you can modify other ones and all. MCP server does an excellent job. And what we have like tested is if you use like the Claude 4.5 model, the hallucination and like the exact following of the instructions is much better as of now. It might improve with the 5 more, like GPT-5 or 5.2 later, but as of now, Claude 4.5 is like gives you the best non-hallucinated and guardrail prevention results.
Definitely, and that's cool. And I mean, in the end, I as an operator, for me, it's like, okay, I might not have my computer right now. I can ask the agent, give me all the running jobs, and I know that I can restart this job. Then I can ask the agent to restart the job. It never tries to do it on its own. So I mean, there are a number of scenarios here, right, that you can leverage. Sorry, you were about to say something.
Yeah. So I actually wanted to go the other way around because it's a bit contradictory. We are talking about not burning through credits and stuff right now. But I mean, the next step in this would be to have an agent that is proactive in this case, which can actually ping you on Teams and say, this batch job is not running optimally. You need to fix it, or should I fix it in that case?
Exactly.
So are you seeing that in the future, that the agent will actually trigger itself in order to let you know that there are issues?
That's right.
Yeah. We were like just maybe an hour back, Prashant and I were having a conversation, and which turned into like in the similar veins, right? Like one of the ways that to accomplish that, like we will probably test it out soon, is to go through the app insights. See, if you look at app insights, it's built for like with the log series data and monitoring. It's built specifically for monitoring, and this is where we can marry app insights and the agentic capabilities, where you set up the rules to say if something there is an anomaly, like anomaly detection or slow running batch jobs within app insights itself, and that triggers the agent to do the analysis or like historical analysis, and then give you like inform you in Teams saying, hey, I noticed this is going slow, or like this particular batch job which is critical is not performing as expected. Like, do you want me to do this steps, right?
But it's a combination, right? I mean, normally we have,
Yeah.
as you say, we discussed this as well before, like for business critical scenarios, you might want to combine app insights alerts, right, with agent insights. As you say, you want, I would like, just in UAT environments, I'm going to set up the agent because UAT or lower tier environments are normally not monitored, right? Because it's UAT, no one cares. But it is impacting a lot of scenarios for testing if batch jobs are not running in lower. So just having it running like every 4 hours, every 8 hours, like once a day in lower tier environments actually also helps, because then you actually get flagged. You might not want to have a costly alert running in all environments, but you can have the agent check all your test environments to see, are they operating smoothly? Because otherwise you lose, a couple of days testing time where you need to look into all of these testing cycles. So there are a number of cases here where you can have app insights alerts, definitely, and you should, but you can also combine it with what you say you want. I mean, down the line, we might have this very fancy Star Trek where we can just talk to Dynamics and it will do what we want, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping for that to come
Yeah,
very soon. Yeah, exactly. Like a virtual assistant, you see you are talking to FNO and it's doing stuff.
Yeah. Instead of saying, hey, Google, we're going to say, hey, Dynamics, please post my journal. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is doable now with the MCP server, right? It's incredibly powerful. It's very cool.
Correct.
All right, so where do you see you guys are working nonstop with pushing new versions of the agent, right? What you mentioned before, Prashant, that we might be seeing like a batch agent as a sub agent to other monitoring agents. Basically, is that where we're going right now, to have additional capabilities, but more like niche or agents doing a specific task, but then we have other agents coordinating to those, right? That's what we're seeing with the agent portal as well, and we're seeing the need to kind of manage all of our agents, right?
Yes, Gustav. So basically, when I started working on this solution, not with the standard batch telemetry. So like 7 months back, I started building a D365 monitoring agent. So during that time itself, I knew that if I include a lot of things in the agent, it might hallucinate. Like it can show you form telemetry, exceptions, warehouse event. If you're using commerce, operational insights can also be seen. So it will become so big, it will be very difficult to manage the agent. So the way to orchestrate the agent is like agent and sub agent scenario. So that is the direction which we are planning in the fast track team for the future releases and all. So most probably this version 3.0 of the batch agent might be, will not release any new version during New Year or something. But what we are trying to achieve is basically that orchestrator agent, like in one observability agent, which are calling batch agent and other sub agents as well, like form telemetry and all.
Yeah.
So, and one part I wanted to add, Gustav, is when we were talking about the UAT environment,
Mhm.
when for those customers who are just about to go live, so they can use this agent in the UAT environment, SIT environment. They can get the framework analysis done, and that will give them, okay, now they need to fine tune the job when they go live in the prod environment.
Yeah.
Those kind of, even the form load telemetry, if a form is taking 1 minute to open or a few seconds to open, so those kind of things we can actually do it proactively in UAT environment, and then when we go live, we can, of course, we have the knowledge now that this bad job needs to run only half an hour, right? So it will smooth out the process of your implementation as well.
Yeah. Exactly right. I think that just that single analysis is worth a lot, and I see it's also helpful in. I mean, now agents are popping up, right? But it's also helping drive adoption. You don't necessarily need to install the agent in the production environment. You need to ensure that it points towards the production app insights instance, right? So it
Yeah,
can
because
work
it's
off
reading
several
from app.
instances. Yeah, it's exactly. It never touches dynamics. It just touches the app insights. So it's fairly simple and easy to deploy. It drives some questions, right? Because when you install this, you get all of these. Okay, if I deploy it to Teams, do I need to give App Insights access to all my users who want to ask this in Teams, or do I have some proprietary connection and stuff like that? So it helps open up a lot of doors with because I'm not sure you want, maybe you are, but I don't see this in the hands of maybe end users, but maybe they can also check. But otherwise, it might drive, all my end users are asking the batch telemetry, then we're really driving through credits, right?
Yeah.
No, that is where we need to do some sort of internal reporting or internal guardrails or a
Yeah.
governance that they don't ask the same thing again and again.
Yeah.
So if we are 4 users asking the same information to the agent, yes, you're going to get the same answer again and again, and you're going to consume the messages for that.
Exactly.
So maybe in that case, we can have an autonomous email or alert which can send the same data on email or Teams notification to your distribution list. So
Yeah.
exactly. So that can solve the issue.
Yeah, exactly. So fewer people that can ask the agent because the connection is still through their. I mean, for App Insights you can use API key, but for connecting to the agent, the user still needs to be allowed. But then the agent itself can ping in a Teams chat where people have access. So that makes sense.
Right. Okay. That's right. That's right. So one of the example which I have recently had with the agent is, like I was working on an escalated case for a customer based out in a region like APAC region. So what the developer did was, so whenever a user will schedule a batch job, they had this option to give the number of threads. So there was a box over there, and the user was writing 300 threads, right? So they, so
Because of
and
course they did.
Yeah, exactly.
because of multi-threading they wanted to do, and they were assuming like if I give 500 threads, it will solve everything for me. It will be super fast. So the moment there are two batch jobs like this created in the system, and you don't have a big prod environment, let's say you have only 10 batch AOS in the prod environment. So 10 into 8 or 10 into 16 is like 160 threads. So that alone batch job of 300 multi-threaded one
Stole everything. Yeah.
stole everything. And they suffered for a week. And then the case came to me and I had a look. Let me see. Then from the batch telemetry, like the internal one, which Microsoft has, right? From there, I could see like how come there are like 600 threads running in the system when they only have like 10 batch AOS with 8 threads in each AOS, right?
Yeah.
So those kind of things, sometimes we can make mistake, but the agent can identify. If you ask the agent, it can do that analysis for you. Yeah,
definitely. And I mean, just enabling, if you have like struggles with agents and getting into Copilot Studio, use the telemetry to drive that discussion, because you can just turn on App Insights and then you can add the agent as well.
So the source of truth is still application insights, still that feature, batch telemetry feature. So you can still see data over there. Dashboards are there, released by
Exactly, right?
FastTrack. Yeah.
So in combination with both, you can combine both. I mean, the agent is great, but if like a lot of people haven't even seen Copilot Studio yet, we're still getting there, I think. But in this case, it's telemetry. Use the dashboard, but the agent will help you understand the telemetry a lot better than just looking at the dashboard, because the dashboard is great, but telemetry can do analysis on like run times and historical times and do a lot of the thinking about the data, which is harder.
So I have a small story for that. So when I was making the batch telemetry, not the agent, like before the standard feature, I was making the ISM telemetry along with Max and all, right? Like he made it, then I helped implement it, right? So a client was asking for these kind of batch exceptions, log and everything. Like if my batch job is taking more than 2 hours, what do I do with that, right? So we gave them everything in dashboard, but the adoption was very less. Only few IT people, they will go to the dashboard and see the relevant insights. But the agent, the users can chat with the agent to see that technical data and logs into a natural language. So that is the gap which this agent or any other agent like this can fix.
Definitely.
So we are hoping to see that user adopt.
Definitely. And I mean, learning Kusto is not something you expect all users to do, right? So that's really...
So our agent, if you turn it to Sonnet and modify certain things, it can create Kusto queries at runtime.
Yeah,
you don't have to give Kusto. You just need to give maybe a schema of something, of batch telemetry. If you are okay with the application side, it can do that for you as well. Like
that's really cool. Yeah, that's opens up a whole new range of possibilities. Definitely.
Correct.
Very cool. All right, so I think we're out of time, Johan, or closing up to out of time. So any final remarks?
Yes, or I think. Yeah, no. So I think I would just like to thank you guys, Prashant and Hemanth, that this was a really great conversation, and it's being able to look under the hood of the batch telemetry agent was really cool.
And it's out there now, so I mean, it's perfectly. It's just you don't need to wait for version 46. That's only for the MCP server. The batch telemetry agent is out there right now. You need to be on version 45 at least, I believe, right?
Yes, Gustav. Yeah. And there's a Viva group. If you face any problem with the agent or something, I am there, active most of the time, like almost like every hour of the day, and
get some.
I can reply
sleep.
there.
Get some sleep as well. Yeah, we didn't mention that. I think this is actually just a mention for our listeners, if they're still around, that this is the most spread out podcast recording we've ever had, I think, because Prashant, you are in Singapore, and Hemant, I think you are in the US, right?
Yeah.
So
PST.
It's an 8 hour back and 8 hour forward from where me and Johan are in CET right now. So thank you so much for getting up early and staying up late.
Thank you so much for inviting us,
Johan
and Gustav. Yeah, it
was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
it was great having
you.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was a great conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.